Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Tom Misery, watching my channel Mr. 14, and I'm here doing a review of Married to Medicine, Season 6, Episode 12. Let's jump right into it. Now, it's continue off with us ended off last week, when Simone got all loud at Contessa's face, and he had argument. Simone called Contessa a bitch and just fuck you and everything, so that got added. They separate the girls. Simone went over there, Cecil got Simone, and she's going at it, and everybody was else calming down Contessa. And then all of a sudden, Simone was saying some shit and everything. She said, "Oh, I'm saying welcome back to group and all that stuff, and she haven't been around all that stuff." And she keeps saying, "Oh, she haven't been around because she using surgery," to saying that she didn't want to be around the group because she had to do. I said, "No, she hasn't been around the group because she been in surgery." I don't know why you made it seem like she. So what? She got an elective surgery. She had a mandatory surgery. Doesn't matter. Surgery is surgery. She was recuperating. So she was not coming around because she didn't want to be with y'all, and she was using surgery as an excuse. She had to recover. So when she had to recover, and she got better a little bit, then she went on with the group. So it's not like it made it seem like she just not want to be around with y'all. That's not the case. So Simone was she was on something right now, because now I had to realize that she was drinking, because I missed the point last week when I meant the review, and I said she came out of nowhere and started going on, and I realized that she had some straight rum, with all rum in her freaking drink. So maybe it just got her going, and that she probably was on Toya's side. Contessa said, she said maybe she was thinking she was on Team Toya, that she had to come after me, like she called me a victim and stuff like that. It's no, I was recovering. So it got to the point that Scott, she said, oh, she had a reason even to go, all that stuff like that, all that stuff, using surgery. He said she had a reason. That's why she wasn't around, all that stuff. So Scott got into it a little bit with Simone. She said, don't be talk to me, Scott. And they would tell Scott to stop, all that stuff, don't say nothing and everything. I understand Scott. It's like, yo, you ain't gonna be coming at my wife like that, because at the end of the day, she has a reason why she wasn't around. It's not like she didn't come around because she didn't feel like coming around. And it's like, no. And I understand, like, yes, you don't want to get in the middle of the woman argument, all that stuff, get in the woman faces like that. He wasn't even nowhere near her. But at the same time, that's your wife, and I'm not going to let nobody disrespect my wife like that. Like, I don't care if you're female, male, nothing. You're not going to disrespect her. It's like, so I don't believe Scott. It's like, he had to say something, because it's getting out of hand. Like, y'all was all cool, but then on a sudden that you still going at it, it's like, it made it seem like my wife was not even coming around because she didn't want to come around. No, she was recuperating, and she has a reason. So don't come here and sitting there and saying that she did that. So I did Dr. Curtis on the question. He said, we all know when a woman gets at it, you have to be quiet, don't say nothing, and then I get into the middle of it. I said, yeah, and Scott is new, but still at the same time, I would be like Scott too. I would not let anybody disrespect my wife. I won't go overboard. I won't put my hands on her. I would not go screaming and have a screaming match. I'm just letting you know, please don't disrespect my wife. And that Contessa saw it. She said, oh, you don't be talking to my husband and all that stuff like that. And they would say, Contessa, if you calm down, then Scott will calm down and everything. So they calmed Contessa down. Jackie came calm Contessa down and say, it was misunderstanding. I will have to invite her over here to talk to you, to apologize and everything. And it was kind of misunderstanding. So Simone came over after she calmed down and would say, like, she apologized. She just want to come apologize. And Contessa said, I am my victim. And you call me a bitch. You call me I'm a victim. I'm my victim. I was a patient. Even though I had elective surgery and everything, I did the surgery for better myself. And I am no one's victim. I'm not using a victim card. Made it seem like I'm using that as an excuse to be having sympathy. I said that's not what it was. So I understand Contessa. I don't think Contessa was using it as a sympathy card. It's like that. She had to keep reminding her that she was surgery, because y'all made it seem like she had no reason why she wasn't coming in the group, coming around to the group. Well, she has a reason, whether it was not mandatory or not. She had a reason. She had surgery, no matter if it was voluntary or not. She had the surgery and she was recuperating and recovering, so let her be. And they said apologize, got the wrong start and everything. They squashed that, so there was no more. Again, so they got the group together again. Everybody calmed down, and I think so somebody came and talked to Scott and was saying that yes, I understand you upset and everything, let it be. And somebody was saying, he said, yo, men and women is different. I think Eugene, somebody said, I forgot who said that. I think it was Eugene. He said women sometimes they hold grudges for a long time. They don't let these go, so they keep harboring about the older fact, and they let it build up. Men sometimes they can easily just let it go and don't deal with it, and they don't. And Scott said, yeah, sometimes men, we don't let things get escalated to the point when they get to that point, and just squash it like there. So it is a different dynamic between how men handle things and how women handle things. Because sometimes men, they can go to a serious argument. 5 minutes later, they can be cool again. Because it's like, you know what, we fucked up. That was a stupid petty. Why the hell we was doing? That's a stupid, petty argument. Why the hell are we fighting for? That was a dumb, silly argument. Women, they would pick that silly thing and turn that into the 10 to the max. I'm not saying all women does that. I'm just saying that some women, like, sometimes they don't let that thing go. So if something could be very small and it could be easy fix, they take that to the extreme that they don't want to deal with. They want to fix it. So that's how it is. So they had a bit of understanding. So this was time Mariah to sit down and say what she had to say, because she was like, you know what? Every couple of trips we ask for forgiveness and we ask for accepting and apologizing and owning up to your shit. And she said, I would like to say something. And she directed a statement. She said, I want to say this. I want to apologize to you for bringing you into this mess. I have nothing but respect for you. I'm good with you. You were good in my book. And I should never have brought you in this situation. I should never have said what I said. So I apologize. Hope you forgive me and accept my apology full sincerely, because I had all respect for you. And I'm not about tearing down families. So I want you to know that I apologize. I felt that because somebody said that you would never get an apology from Mariah. And just like last week, I understand that because Mariah never apologized for, she claimed accidentally breaking the glass, but she purposely did that. So I could tell Mariah usually don't like to apologize, and she really not apologize. The fact that she will apologize now to Damon, we should understand that, because say your beef was heavily. So you and Heavily should be beefing at each other. The husband should not be brought into the situation at all. Don't bring up her husband. She will not bring up your husband at all. So if y'all never brought the husband into it, it would never get to the point. So she apologized to Damon. Damon said, I forgive you and I accept your apology. And then when I forgive you, that means I let it go and I will not harbor it again. So they got up and they hugged it out. And it was nice. Everybody said, oh. And then they had a little dance-off moment. And it was like cute. Dancing and all that stuff. Damon did his little, what the hell he was doing, was dancing like that. And then Toya and freaking Quad was dancing because they had the same outfit. They were dancing and booty popping, dancing and all that stuff. So that was nice. And they left off the boat. So they had a little moment. Next day was the dinner. So they went the next day, another night. And they're going to redeem themselves. They're going to have another dinner. And hopefully it doesn't end in disaster. And secretly, Toya and Heavily had a talk. And Toya decided to give Heavily a second chance with the marriage therapy. Because last year it was a horrible ass mess. Heavily didn't do so well with the therapy. She asked her crazy questions. They was not here for the questions. And then she didn't want to sit down and answer her own questions. And it's questions from them. So that was like way out of the back. Like, as a therapist sometimes, when you have a client who's hard to open up, and their situation is kind of similar, or you can understand the situation, or you know a situation that you've been through yourself, or you know someone, you maybe sometimes you will share a little bit to get them to open up, so they understand that I have been there. I understand where you're coming from. I know how you feel, what you're going through, what's your feelings, how they went through, because I went through it myself. And sometimes, I'm not saying that it's all happen all the time, but sometimes hard to open up clients usually open up after they hear their counselor or therapist open up about themselves, about their lives. Not too much that you will give off much of your information, but a little bit enough that it can help them through the process. So it was like, if you're not willing to answer questions yourself in a marriage couple, how the hell you gonna ask us the questions and expect us to answer the questions like we supposed to be okay with that? So last year was totally terrible. So Toy said, haven't even been taking on a spiritual journey seriously, and I mean they beg to differ. I mean, she had 4-4 to it and let that marriage spiritual journey went out the window when that Mariah and her had that little argument. But they would give her a second chance. So they was sitting down, they was talking and everything, and Heavily got up, and they would say, "Where Heavily going?" So Heavily asked Toya, said, "Do everybody know that I'm doing it?" She said, "No, I didn't do that." So Eugene, the confessionally, said, "That's not a good idea. Hell to the no. She would not be good at doing this again, and she do not deserve a second chance." But Toya gave her a second chance. So she went there and prepared and everything, and parent called, sat there. So Toya said, "I know where Heavenly went." So they said, "Okay." So they got everybody up together and went out to the beach. She was standing there, and Heavenly had the mic, and she said, "Thank you for coming on stuff, and I want to thank Toya for giving me the opportunity to do this again, and to make up for what happened for last year." So they said, "Oh, the last therapy was happening terrible last year." So hopefully they was on eggshells when they was like, okay. And she said, "I'm glad y'all excited." They was like, "Who excited? Bitch, where? Excited for who?" I said, maybe the animals were excited, but none of them was excited for seeing you doing it again. So hopefully they would do themselves. She said last year, she told them, the one of the biggest things that went wrong, Damon told us that you was not willing to open up, or you was willing not to answer any questions that he may have. So she gave them this time an opportunity to ask her questions that they wanted to ask her, and she would be open and honest about it. No matter what question you ask her, she would be open and honest with the questions. And she asked that Damon do not say anything. He will not interject. No matter what I say, he will not say anything, and I will answer the questions. So the first question came from Jackie. She was saying that you always remind us about submitting. Are you truly submitting to Damon, or are you making him think that he has control of you submitting? And she said that, you know what, I love him and I love my marriage, and it's not by dominations. He cares for me, he loves for me. So as a person who I love, I value my marriage, it comes natural for me to submit to the love I have for him, because he does so much for me and he cares for me. And he does not of a fact of I submitted to him because he dominated me. I submitted to him because he cared for me. And so she said that's a good answer. And she said God first, my husband next, and then family after. So she said, okay, so that's good. You honor your husband and you marry. It's like, that's a commitment. That's the person you spend your life with. You sharing your bed with every day. So not too much of submitting, but it's at the point of letting the person know that you with them 100%. You equally there for each other. And I'm going to be devoting myself to you. So I understand where Heaven is coming from. It's like, it wasn't about submission. It's about being there and caring for one another, and having that love for each other. So that was that. Alright, so that was a good question. But Jackie said the confession, she said, Curtis, in my relationship, how it works is that it's not about submitting. I let him think that I submitted to him, or it's about submission. It's like that. But that's how it works for us. And Kevin said, well, whatever works. I said, okay. I make him think that I'm submitting to him, or I'm submitting, or whatever. But let him think that. I said, oh, Jackie, okay, whatever. So then we get Simone. No. Simone came, yeah. Simone said, how do you handle the situation about disagreement with kids? Because she said, when you have a disagreement with kids, I have to discipline them. And if parents not together on the same page, how do you go about handling that? And Heavenly opened up a little bit, and she started telling them, she said, you know what? I think that Damon is a better father to my kids than I have been a better mother. Now, Damon aside, he said that's not true. He didn't agree with that statement. But he didn't want to say much because he said she asked him to be quiet. So she was like that. He talked to them more. He spent more time with them. He cared for them even more than I have. And I really appreciate that. He said she got good kids. She had no problem with her kids. And it's all because of Damon. And Contessa said in her confessionals is that the mommy guilt. And she has been beating herself up with the mommy guilt. So she understands. She said what she really trying to say is that thank you, Damon, for all that time you've been there with our kids when I've been with my practice. And what she said, because Dr. Heavenly is a doctor, and I understand how the sacrifice she had to do with schooling, and he's a doctor himself. So I understand about how she had to took too much time and been there for her practice while Damon's there taking care of the kids, and at the same time he being the father working dental doctor himself, he using the time to spend more time with his kids. So I don't believe that Heavenly is a bad mother. It's that I think she's guilty enough that she realized that maybe she could have done more for her kids. Which I understand when you have kids, like sometimes it's so hard. I'm not a father. I don't have no kids, but I understand how hard it is in raising one and making sacrifices. Feeling like, are you doing enough? Did you did the right thing? Is no cookie cutter situation or solution to handle a kid? Are you being too hard? Are you being too friendly? Are you being this? It's like you always questioning your parenting skills. You always questioning, are you whether doing the right thing? Are you not doing the right thing? Are you not disciplined enough? Are you being too lean back? It's always that hard balance and finding it, especially when you have two households. When you have one parent who's mostly laid back and one parent who's mostly disciplinarian, you would like to have that balance and stuff like that. But sometimes you wish you have the parents to be in the same page so it won't be too confusing. But sometimes it never happen that way, and it's like, how do you handle that? So she said she appreciate that. Now the next question, who else would go? Mariah got up and ran to try to answer. She said, "Oh, I'm just playing. No, I'm just playing." Next was Quad. So they had a little giggling moment and all that stuff like that. I don't think Mariah was giggling, but she just sat there. Not Mariah, Heavily. She sat there. So Quad's no. Before Quad, right? So Mariah went to get up, but she said, "I'm sorry, I'm playing." Then it was Contessa that came up next. Contessa said, "What's the top 3 things is a point in your marriage that made your marriage successful? Live happy, health, and well." What was it? Living life, loving life, living happy, and healthy. And she said 2 things. I did get the 3rd thing, but she said respect for each other was one thing. And she said, I know y'all, I said this a lot and y'all think clowning me on this, but sex, she said sex is important for the relationship with the man. And men do value sex a lot, and they do love sex. So sometimes sex is important in a relationship. It's not. It's like you can't say it's not, because it helps release the stress. It helps release the hormones, like you said, oh, my body's at ease and stuff like that. When you have a hard day at work, and your wife or whoever's at home, and you just want to get it in and do it, and just because you love the person so much, and they just willing to give you the body, all that stuff, it is a healthy feeling. And when you release it, it's like, oh, yes. So sometimes it is important. So I didn't get the 3rd thing, so I'm sorry. I forgot what her last thing to say. Maybe she said the first 2 things together, but I know she said respect and sex, and maybe the love for each other. Now, then we get Quad, because she said Quad asked how old is David Jr. She said 20. She said how long you been with David? She said 20 years. Now, she said, did you trap Damon? Now, when she asked the question, I thought Heavenly was going to blow up. But Heavenly said she took it as a champ, and she actually answered the question. And she was tearing up. And I don't know if she was tearing up because maybe if she admit the truth, then Damon would feel something away from her and everything. But I'm glad how Damon handled it, because I was like, this is a crazy question. If I admit the truth, will he hate me for it? And she said, yes, I did trap Damon. I was 5 months pregnant when I was getting married to him. And yeah, I get married to him. So she said yes. She admitted that she trapped Damon. Now, Damon said, you know what, I can't sit silent to this, and I'm going to say something, I say something. She said, go ahead, I was going to let you say something after this. He said, Heaven didn't trap me. I knew the day she was pregnant, and I knew right then and there when I married her, this is going to be the woman of my life. This is going to be the woman I'm going to be live a long life with. This is the woman I'm going to be married, and she's going to be my wife for forever, until the day I die. So no, it was no trapment. And he's been explaining to himself, he said when he had the baby, he was pregnant and stuff, he knew he was going to be there for the father, because I don't think he had, I think he said he didn't have a father when he was living up, growing up with his parents, and he know the point of it. But he want to make sure his son is okay. He want to make sure and let his kids know that he was there for his baby and not feel like he was not there because he was forced into it. He's there because he loved Heavenly. He knew Heaven was gonna be his wife, and it was no entrapment. He knew he was gonna be a father. Whether she got pregnant the first time they were together and got married in the first year without that, whatever, and we got pregnant, married already way, he knew Heaven was gonna be the one. So it was no entrapment. So he cleared that up, and she said thank you, and they said, oh, that was nice, all that stuff, and I like that. I like how Damon stick up his wife and everything. Whether she meant that in her mind she did was entrapment, because she said she wanted to keep Damon and trap him so he won't leave her. But Damon said no, she didn't trap me. I knew she was gonna be the one, so I stayed with this marriage. So I was saying, oh, that was nice. I really enjoyed that. I loved that. I said I would start tearing up a little bit, but it was okay. But I said I enjoyed that because I said you could tell the love. You could tell that Damon really loved Heavenly, and I said that's nice. That's good. Now we get the next thing because I did last year. Last year they had like a little like patient checking, free screening and blood pressure and stuff like that. So they did that again this year, and Eugene had a patient that wasn't like the same boat as him like last year, where her blood pressure was high, and she had medication, but she wasn't taking them as much and everything. So he was reading her everything, and she had like 100 over 100 something. It was what they were reading, but it was high, and she would say, yeah, she wasn't taking her medication all the time. He said, you gotta take it. You gotta take it every day. She said the reason why she wasn't doing as much because she said she was scared of the side effects. And he said the side effects of having a heart attack is way worse than the side effects of the medication. Which I said, yeah, that's kind of true. I mean, sometimes taking medications does drive you crazy. And she said she was scared of it. So he told her to take your aspirin. Take an aspirin every day and take the medication and you should be good. And he said, I was in the same boat last year. This is another day that he opened up himself and said, I was just like you last year and I did that, and that got on me because I wasn't taking my medication. So I know you gotta take it. So, and she was crying a little bit, but she's okay and all. So that was a nice moment. And then that was that. So it was not much. Alright, so it was the last night of Antigua, and they would have one more little thing. And Simone said, Toya asked each one of the persons in the group to do something for the trip, like plan an activity or event for the couples could do when they're at the trip. And Simone said, you know what? Why the hell I didn't think about last time? That was good because you don't have to do all the work. You can plan the trip. You can say this, tell each couple, when we at Antigua, plan something, look at something over there at Antigua and plan something for the couples to do. So they won't plan every activity. She gave each one a dedication to do it. So this night was Simone and Cecil. And I guess Mariah did that boat trip and Toy playing this, and she let Heavenly do the marriage therapy again. So I was like, that was nice. So they had a little thing. It was like a couples kind of like a spa kind of relaxation type of thing. They were free. They was getting fed grapes and fruits, and they was getting champagne together. It's like they was catering to them and everything, and they was sitting there talking. Cecil was sharp with his little hat and everything, and Contessa was like, damn, Simone can't dress, but Cecil, you can't say that about Cecil. Cecil could dress down, so he was sharp with his little hat and everything. I said, go ahead, Cecil, little fine little man. I said, that's nice. And they did this little last night on the trip, and it was like a little kind of relaxation, and they had an activity, and they would say, oh gosh. But before that, Simone talked to Quad. Because Quad, Simone, and Cecil was in this like a love seat kind of thing. And she was talking to Quad, and she said, I don't want you to be in this group and feel like you got to put on a happy face. And she didn't judge her. She didn't make her feel uncomfortable. She just said that I'm going to be there. I'm going to make sure you upgrade or stuff. And Quad, she said the biggest thing is that the divorce thing and how this divorce going to happen, the procedure. And Simone, she said, don't think about the process, think about the end goal. And she said the end goal is the exit. Not too much of the divorce, not too much of the heated battle, not too much of the process that's going to happen within the divorce. The end goal is you're going to have a peace of mind where you know you're exiting. And that's what you need to focus on. And she accepted that. She didn't got upset and none of that. She agreed with that. And then right in the midst of they talking, a cockroach slipped on freaking Simone's hand, and Simone said, "What the hell?" And I feel the same too. I would say, "What the fuck is that?" And Quad said, "What happened?" She said, "That was a cockroach." She said, "Oh, that was a sign of cards. You talk about Greg, and then the cockroach go in and say something." And she said, "Oh, Greg is living in a cockroach." I said, "Simone, not Simone, Quad, stop it, Quad, Quad." All right, so they got together and they had one last activity. They said, "God, we thought the marriage therapy was the last. That marriage therapy was the last thing. Now we got another activity." So they ride out with this. And to me, it was a good activity that Simone planned. She said she want all the ladies. Sorry, excuse me, I'm burping too much. She said she want all the ladies to get a shell and put something negative about the marriage or something negative that you want to work on yourself into the shell. You kiss it goodbye, and you're gonna throw it in the sea and wash it away, and we will not look back onto it. We're gonna let it go. We're gonna move forward and better ourselves. So go down the line. Simone said she will work on stop harboring the feelings of Cecil's ex-best friend Tammy, and how that happened blew up because all this craziness we was feeling like what's going on, why Simone was acting like this, and we feel like that Simone was doing that because she feels type of way about Cecil's best friend that's been a cause of why they probably was going to get divorced. So Cecil said he don't want to make his wife unhappy anymore and stuff like that. He knew if he knew that he probably wouldn't did it, but he said now he know that what caused my wife that anxiety. He had to cut Tammy off, and he did that. So he said she gonna let that go. Just put it in there and throw it out. Heavenly was like saying that she didn't really have much to say, and she said our marriage is perfect, and not everybody understand Heavenly. Not everybody have a freaking fucked up need to work on marriages, have deep issues. Some marriages have little petty, little small arguments, and they can just get fixed a little quickly. So a lot of marriage don't have that much drama. But at the same time, to say that you don't have anything to say, it don't have to be about him. It could be something that you need to work on. And she said, maybe I need to be controlling it. And then, who said that? And Toya said, you want us to believe that he had control of Damon? I said, Heavenly, you do not control Damon, whatsoever. You don't have no control over Damon. You call him daddy. You said, like, you don't have control. You're not over to controlling, girl. And she said, I want to control what he do, all that stuff, what he wears. I said, he wear t-shirt and jeans all the damn time. What the hell you controlling his wearing for? I said, stop, Heavenly. So she wasn't really taking it that much. And she said, oh, sometimes you need the toilet seat up and don't flush. I was like, most men does that. So it's not something that you got to get with. That's like an annoying pet peeve that women have with men. That's something you got to deal with. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Whatever. Alright, so move on from that. Toya said that she needs to start giving off this attitude of negative energy, because when she gives off the energy, it passes on to her husband. So when she angry, he's angry. When she have a bad mood, he has a bad mood. When she on the period, he's like on the period. So it's like she needs to stop transferring that energy towards him, because sometimes he come home a long day at work, and I don't want to be a reason to add to his stress, which is sometimes not understandable. Like when you mostly a home person, I'm not saying anything won't be staying at home, but if you staying at home and you take care of the kids, and that's stressful enough when you got to take care of the kids, take care of the house, all that stuff, and being home. When you have somebody who's out there working a long hour, especially him being a doctor, he didn't want to come home to a stressful environment when he's been through a lot of stress at his job. So his home should be a peace haven. Like me, I love my apartment, I love my place. When I get from outside and I'm stepped right through this door, I'm comfortable and I'm like in peace. I said, good, I can unwind until I get back outside. So I was like, understand that. Jackie said she just stopped hoping the hurt, disappointed, and mistrust from Curtis, and she could let that go and just move on the hill, which is good for that. Because she said she needs to stop over criticizing or over critiquing Scott, because he's a good man and he's not that perfect husband, and he's not a fairy tale. She thinks her marriage is supposed to be a fairy tale, everything supposed to be perfect and that, and our marriage is not a fairy tale. So she needs to let go of that unknown, that unreachable goal of expectation of a marriage of a fairy tale. That's not gonna happen. It's not in the books. It can't be in the books. It's not all happy-go-lucky. It's work. Who I missing? Mariah was saying about that. She think that Ada lost some on Chanel shoes. I said, whatever. That's another petty moment. That is another petty thing. But she was like, you know what? I need to stop projecting my hurt, my anger towards on Ada. Because sometimes when I'm having an argument with something, and he have an argument with something like that, I project my argument feelings towards him, and I want to do that. So I need to start working on that. And then Quad said she need to release the hurt and the pain she been going through and let that go. So they kissed. They got up. They went to the beach. They stayed behind, in front of the river, the ocean. Kissed the shell, and count to three, they threw it. And that was the release of fresh. That was the release of the negativity. They released a bad moment where they say they're gonna let go and move on. And hopefully they stick up to that thing. But that was the episode. I enjoyed it. It was a good episode. And there had to be too much drama. It was enough drama that let you get together. But at the same time, it was like real life lessons, real life things to going on, real life things, sessions that couples go through and partnership and practice. I would love to get in a situation like that when we have friends and we all booed up and we all have relationships and we go on a couples trip and we do things as couples and help heal one another and help each other out and love each other and build up on relationships like that. I would love to have that friendship where we could do that there. But at the end of the day, that's it. That's Married to Medicine. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.